Hello, Scorpio. Welcome. I'm Ryan. Thank you for being here. This could be a general reading for who you may be dealing with and what they're up to. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, Alpha 3 Tarot She's Review as well. Thank you. Alright, let's see what's going on. Well, there you are, Scorpio. Jeez. Oh, geez. Okay. So jumping into this. Okay, so right away what they're showing me, it definitely kind of feels like they've either moved, changed locations, I don't know, like change of residence or change of business or foundation, I don't exactly know. But there's a lot of energy here of just kind of focusing on oneself and, you know, stability and kind of security and kind of just remaining very grounded, emotionally, mentally, even energetically. I'm not going to say spiritually yet, only because I feel like there is, even though things are looking as if everything's beginning to become, you know, brighter and clearing itself up energetically for them, this overall energy of pursuit towards happiness or fulfillment or just staying happy. It energetically almost kind of feels a little bit short-lived. I'm not too sure exactly what this like emotional snapback to reality is, but it's almost kind of like they're trying to figure out, how do I say this? They're trying to gather ideas and collect ideas as to how they can kind of work on something for themselves, financially speaking. It's almost like there's considerations and there's like a study of those considerations, and then there's like the realization of like, well, they're not too happy with any possibilities or any options, but they know they have to choose and do something, and so they are. It's like an energy of what's going to give them the result that they're kind of looking for, and in a sense kind of put them back on track and keep them on track for stability and security. I kind of feel like that's ultimately what their pursuit is. And that's what's interesting, is it kind of feels, once again, very short-lived. It's kind of like living for the moment and not necessarily the long term or the future. They're finding out, like, yeah, every little, that's what I was kind of saying. They're saying it works for the moment, but they didn't think too far ahead. And that's what I was kind of wondering. That's what I was kind of wondering. It comes back around. Comes back around to kind of bite them. A little bit like karma. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, well, that's what I was just saying. The kind of flipping perspective-wise through extremes. Again, extremes. There's extremes of emotions. There's extremes of thoughts. There's extremes of like what they do and how they move. It's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's all or nothing. It's just, it's kind of like 0 to 100 real quick and then back to zero. There's no like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 speed wise or momentum wise. It's just 0 or 100. And it's kind of like, when they have problems going 100, they don't understand what's going on. It's like two modes. Again, it's like they're not thinking about the next step. They're thinking short term. I don't know what's going on, because even though they are taking care of what they have to take care of and they're making the changes and shifts, they're still kind of like, well, shit. And so they're kind of searching here for what they can kind of do or kind of utilize, or some sort of useful information as to how they used to do things in order to kind of keep things afloat and keep things just managed. And here's what's interesting. They're doing the work. They're having to play cleanup for some reason. And so once again, it goes from wanting things maintained and wanting things kept for the sake of not having to worry about it, stress about it, figure it out. Kind of like autopilot. Like they don't have to think much. They don't have to do much. They just kind of like, it's set, it's default. It kind of works, whatever. Leave it alone. And that's what's interesting though, is this overall energy of default, because they're kind of like brushing this off, and they're saying, well, I actually am pretty happy and fulfilled, and I still get what I want. But geez, the big plans that they have for their future, which they are trying to meet in a sense, they don't want to lose what they've built or created for themselves. But at the same time, it's interesting. It's kind of like saying they don't care. Geez, they're kind of, like I said, they're brushing this off emotionally and mentally so much that they don't realize that they're kind of putting themselves to their own ringer, because they are choosing to put things on autopilot and not kind of face reality and face what they may need to do to get to where they want to be. It's kind of like saying, if you want a house, you have to start saving money today. It's not an energy of, let me go blow all my cash today and then wonder why I don't have a house later on. They're showing me that exact example of, financially speaking, there's somebody, but they're not fully invested or committed to what they're trying to do, but they're going through it because they're not doing what they could be doing to get what they want. I don't know, I'm not understanding this one. But of course, if you are dealing with anyone, you could be dealing with a fire sign, an air sign, a water sign, or fire. Yeah, they're all here, I believe. Fire, air, water, or earth. Goodbye.